Yeah, it's definitely different for me. I feel like basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career cause it ended so fast. Caitlin Clark just leaked her plans for next season, and luckily she's staying right here in America. By doing this, she's proven that no massive paycheck can sway her. She's not like some players who are all too quick to sell themselves for a few extra bucks or cry over how their rent is too high. Did I see a misstep or something that I wouldn't want to show my daughter literally every step of the way? It's just like watch her, watch how she plays, watch how she handles your business. Instead, Clark is focused on leading a productive life, spending her time visiting patients, attending charity events, or hanging out with her boyfriend. And as for her future plans, she's taking a much more thought approach, especially when it comes to dealing with the usual racist nonsense she's had to put up with. That's just basketball. At the end of the day, no, that's never going to change. I'm never going to lose. I feel like I'm getting hammered. She's not letting any of that drain her energy anymore. So things are definitely about to get interesting. I feel like it'll be.
That's just basketball at the end of the day. No, that's never gonna change. I'm never gonna lose that. I feel like I'm getting hammered.
Good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career cause it ended so fast, and then I came here and was trying to give everything I could to this team and kind of move on and put all that behind me and help this team, get back to the playoffs. So I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting back, because while most top players are jet setting off to Europe during the off-season chasing extra cash and international fame, Caitlin Clark decided to hit the brakes. Instead of chasing big bucks and shining new experiences, she turned down some pretty sweet offers from European teams. And why? Because unlike the typical rising star who jump at more exposure and a fat paycheck, Clark is playing the game her way by putting her mental peace and well-being first. Well, for her to stop her busy schedule and to just check on all the babies here, it means a lot. What really makes this choice pop is her loyalty to the US and the WNBA, with so many athletes drooling over Europe's perks. Big money, cool new scenery, and let's be real, better food. Clark's decision to stick it out here is a massive statement. She could have hopped on that plane, grabbed some extra zeros on her paycheck, and upped her global fame game. But no, she's choosing her country, her league, and her people over the quick wins. It's like she's doubling down on her commitment to the long haul, not just chasing short-term thrills. What do we think we're going to see get added to her game here? Look, the only thing that maybe Caitlin Clark can add is a little bit of bulk, right? A little bit of muscle. A lot of people tend to, work on their strength and, a weightlifting regimen. As she posted on Instagram, thank you to the many people who have supported me as I've been able to live my childhood dream. I'm filled with gratitude as I reflect on this past year of my life. See you all in year two. And let's not forget, Clark would have raked it overseas, no doubt about it. She could be lounging in some European villa right now, sipping espresso, rolling in euros, but instead she's focusing on what really matters, her future, by staying put and prioritizing rest and recovery. She's not just preparing her body for next season, she's showing she's in it for the long game. It's that kind of smarts and foresight that separates her from so many other athletes. Caitlin Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing in quite some time, and I would say Caitlin Clark's off-season is causing a buzz for all the right reasons, and one of the biggest headlines is her flat-out refusal to switch to Adidas. As we all know, Clark's Nike deal was for 8 years with a $28 million contract. That's not just financial security, that's a whole empire she's building, and Nike isn't the only big name in her corner. She's also snagged deals with Gatorade, State Farm, and Gainbridge, and these are heavy hitters in the sports marketing world. These partnerships aren't just for show, they put Clark front and center in their campaigns. So why would she need to jump ship to Adidas? She's already raking in serious cash and building something far beyond just a stack of paychecks off the court. She's just as committed to making a difference in her community. While most athletes might use their time off to relax or hit the gym, Clark's out here doing the real work. Case in point, on October 19th, 2024, she attended the Golden Gala for the Pacers Foundation, a major charity event supporting youth and family services in Indiana. Sure, as well as you're coming into the gym with like late night hours or anything like that often? Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's always something that we've kind of shared, that bond with them. I think also having to navigate like when to rest my body and when to get in the gym and do exercise. But that's definitely something we love, is like coming in here, shooting late at nights or having some shooting competitions, it gets a little heated. I definitely outshoot him way more than he outshoots me, but he tries to think otherwise, and she's not slowing down. Next up on her agenda is a speaking gig at the Women's Leadership Summit on November 12, 2024 in Bel Air, Florida. This summit is all about empowering women and promoting leadership, and Clark, being a featured speaker, says a lot about how far her influence reaches. She's not just a WNBA star, she's becoming a role model for future female leaders. Caitlin Clark is a superstar, not a female superstar. She is a superstar. We were coming to see Caitlin Clark play. She moves the needle. The WNBA has been looking for someone who moves the needle, and just like anyone else, Caitlin Clark's got a personal life too. And guess what? She's in love, yes, with a guy. So no, she's not a lesbian, and for that some of you are probably breathing a sigh of relief anyway. Her man is Connor McCaffrey, an assistant coach at Butler University. And if you think this is just some background fling, think again. McCaffrey is a huge part of her life right now and has been helping Clark find balance, focus, and all that mushy stuff people in relationships seem to get. They've been spotted together at events like the Colts Steelers game at Lucas Oil Stadium and at Butler's open practices, just casually proving that Clark isn't all about the court. She's got a whole life going on off it too. Now get this thing, that despite how juicy it sounds, this relationship is so low-key it barely makes a blip on the radar. No drama, no flashing cameras in their faces, no tabloids twisting things for clicks. For Clark, it's all about support and staying grounded, and McCaffrey is clearly helping her stay chill while the world's busy hyping her up. It'll be fun to go to those games. I mean, I love college basketball. Obviously he's been around it his whole life and really invested a lot into it, so I think it'll be fun. Give me something to do all throughout the off-season as well, somebody to root for, but it's definitely still go Hawks for sure, as well as giving her that sense of calm she needs to deal with the insane pressure that comes with being one of the most talked about WNBA players. Honestly, it's refreshing in a world where athletes sometimes turn their personal lives into a full-on media circus just for attention, but Clark, now she's keeping it real, focusing on her game without the messy distractions. She just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play. And let's not forget how Clark's handling her local fame in Indianapolis. People aren't just cheering her on for her skills, they love her because she's making herself part of the community. Whether she's at games or hanging out around Butler's basketball team, she's not just some distant superstar. She's plugged in and genuinely connecting with the people around her. That kind of maturity, yeah, it's rare, especially for someone her age. Most young athletes are either too focused on their careers or their social media, but Clark's all about building something bigger than herself. She's part of the culture, and that's making her even more of a fan favorite. But make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is doing things beyond her years. Sports science has been screaming for years that mental recovery is just as important as the physical grind. And Clark is clearly paying attention. She knows that pushing yourself all year long doesn't make you better, it just makes you exhausted. So she's hitting the brakes to recharge, and honestly it might just be her secret weapon. Next season, by the time she's back on the court, she'll be in a way better headspace than the players who spent their whole off-season killing themselves in the gym. That could be an oh my god, oh my god, oh my god's away. Wow. And when Clark does want to stay active, she's not doing it with basketball drills. She's been out on the golf course with Lexi Hull, her teammate from the Indiana Fever Golf. You ask, yep, it's a perfect way to unwind while still keeping the competitive edge going. It's low pressure, it's fun, and it lets Clark stay connected with her team without all the stress. Pretty genius, right? Who needs to sweat it out in hardcore training when you can be out on the green having a blast and staying sharp? And speaking of staying grounded, Clark hasn't forgotten where she came from. She's been spending quality time with her family in Iowa during the off-season. Family is everything to her, and reconnecting with her roots is keeping her centered and avoiding the burnout that so many athletes deal with. It's a simple move, but sometimes visiting home is exactly what you need to recharge when everything else feels overwhelming in a career as demanding as professional basketball. It's